some fun now, man.
Well, good afternoon and welcome along to Cadrona, the Jossi Wells Invitational. We've had to pivot a little bit today. Weather conditions weren't conducive for the big air, so we've switched to improvised, and we're doing a rail jam. And it's a pleasure to welcome along into this afternoon's broadcast Ed, Lee, and Jossi. Jossi, how's it going?
What up, guys? We're yeah, as you were saying, mate, we have a bit of a troublesome morning. Cadrona covered in a cloud cap, so we were holding off, looking like it was going to clear this afternoon. So yeah, we've had to pivot. The wind's still blowing a wee bit, so we've come over to the rail jam, and we've just gotten started. Everyone's had about half an hour warming up, so we're going to kick off this jam right now, and yeah, it should be a sick show.
Sweet. Talk us through the format here. It seems to me like it's almost like a WrestleMania vibe. There's just a lot of people doing a lot of stuff, just hitting a lot of jumps. Is that how it works?
Yeah, survival of the fittest.
Yeah.
Basically one big jam session. We're going to go basically as long as Cadrona's going to let us ride for.
Yep.
So yeah, as long as people want to ride, we'll be here. And yeah, it's just jam, free for all. Everyone goes, has a good time, does whatever they want. And as you're riding, you're keeping your eye on the other riders and what other riders are doing, because this is a rider-judged event, so everyone will vote at the end of the week who their favourite riders were, and they'll walk home with a little cash purse.
Nice, nice. And Ed, spent a lot of time up here last few weeks. Winter Games just done, now into the Jossi Wells. Who are you looking out for this afternoon?
Who aren't you looking out for out here? This is the section of the zoo where all of the apex predators are. Like, you've got some of, not just the biggest names in skiing, but the biggest names in snowboarding here, and not just from New Zealand. Like, you've got all the regular suspects from New Zealand: Zoe Sadowski, Sinnott, Tian Collins, Lion Farrell, Jossi himself, in fact the entire Wells clan. But then you've got a couple of Olympic medalists, like X Games gold medalists, world champions, Mia Brooks, Alex Hall. I've seen Miguel Porteous wandering around as well. He's definitely getting in the mix. I like to think of this as Soul Train. Do you remember Soul Train, the dance-off?
Yeah.
This is Soul Train on snow.
Right. I was interested. You can pick any path, Jossi. You can do whatever you want. Kind of. How does it really work? How do you get your turn? What happens up the top of the mountain there? It seems like it's organised chaos up there, but everyone knows what they're doing.
Yeah, it is organised chaos. You know, these are all friends out here too, so no one actually wants to run into each other. So you got your peripherals working.
Yep.
But yeah, you just kind of wait your turn or push in and drop it, just send it. But yeah, there's a few different lines here with kind of entries and exits coming from all angles, so it's going to be a pretty exciting show to watch. And when you're out there riding, you definitely got to keep your wits about you, that's for sure.
See, I've got a theory that skiers and snowboarders make fantastic drivers, because you're basically making all of those calculations as to whether you're going to collide with someone, millisecond calculations constantly. Like, these guys just aren't going to drive down the hill and T-bone someone.
Yeah, but the problem is too is you got a whole bunch of people here that are highly overconfident. So, you know, highly overconfident drivers are dangerous as well.
Yeah, there's a lot of BDE floating around this hillside at the moment.
Yeah.
BBE.
You don't want to know. Don't ask. Luke Harold, I think he's 16 years old now, and he's arguably the most serious man on the mountain. Yeah, like, this boy is not taking any prisoners.
Yeah, we've got quite a cool crew of some younger up-and-coming New Zealand riders that have been putting on a good show the last couple of years in the events overseas and here at home. So invite them in here and give them a go with the big dogs. So it should be sick to see how they perform, eh? Right, guys, as much as I want to sit here and talk with you, I'm pretty keen to go get amongst. So
Yeah, get amongst the
I'm
Jossi.
actually healthy this year, so I'm
Yeah.
pretty excited to get in the mix.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I'm going to leave it to you.
Yes, and you got Wacko and Bo James and Byron up there as well.
Yep, they're all up there, so I got to go show them how it's done.
I look forward to it. It's I've seen you ski enough, but no, like I've seen you ski a lot, but it's never enough. If that makes sense.
Thanks,
always,
Ed. Thank you. I appreciate that.
It's always a pleasurable experience. One thing before you leave us, talk us through the ribbed rail.
Yes.
We're all a bit confused about this.
Yeah, so that is, as people that live in cities know, if you've ever walked down a handrail stair set in the city, or there's a ledge that looks really perfect to skateboard on or ski or snowboard on, and then the council goes and puts big knobs on it so you can't hit it. This is kind of what they're trying to emulate here. So on that thing, it's yeah, it's a little dangerous.
Like
but
it's like the anti-skateboarding mechanism seen around town that you brought to the mountain and put onto a rail to make it even more dangerous.
Yeah, exactly.
Excellent.
Yeah. I mean, we've got the best in the world here, so
Yeah.
Yeah, so you come off the ribbed rail where your perineum's probably done about 8 flexes as you hit every single bump, and then you have to go under the rainbow rail gap where someone might be hucking their meat over you, through you.
yes.
It's spectacularly chaotic.
Here we go. Boom. Nice. All right. Well,
Right, you get up there,
I'll leave you
Jossi.
to it.
Yep,
It's a calorie burner, this whole hike here, so go shed some kgs, eh?
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, well, good luck, Jossi.
Cheers, guys. I'll check in a wee bit.
That'll be good.
Yeah,
So,
make sure you get the Strava going as well. That'd be good.
Yeah.
I reckon you're looking at about 800 metres of vert here. Right, there's let's run through some names. One to keep an eye on. The Americans always have the best names in skiing and snowboarding, hands down. Max Moffat and A-Hall.
A-Hall.
Yeah.
And he's known as A-Hall.
Yeah, Alex Hall is his whole name, but he's quite happy to be known as A-Hall. So.
Well, I went to school with a Richard Soul, and I used to love when they used to announce the sports teams, and it would have M Lane, J Smith, R Soul, and he didn't really find the funny side of it. It used to crack me up every time.
We had 2 brothers in our school, and the teacher used to read out it was Andrew and Peter Nurse, and I never got it until I was like 13 when I finally worked it out that it was A Nurse and P Nurse. I was like, wow, that teacher is just having his own little private joke every day.
Every day. Well, they need something, don't they, teachers? Welcome along into the commentary position, Manaia Stewart, Waimati's first and only big air specialist.
Yeah, obviously a sad day for me. The weather just really didn't play its part today. I've been talking a lot of shit in the wider Southern Lakes District area over the last few days about my prowess on the mountain, or more likely in the air off the side of the mountain, but unfortunately it wasn't to be my day. Didn't get a chance to display it, and also have never skied before in my life, so a couple of things working against me today, but happy to be here. And if the warm-up's anything to go by, we are in for an absolute treat here.
Well, you said it, BDE energy earlier. There's a lot of that here. You had BA energy.
What's that?
That's big air energy.
Yeah.
Just no BRE, big rail energy.
No, and unfortunately for me, the skills don't really translate across to the other side of the mountain, so no rail work for me. I was very interested by Jossi's explanation of the council anti-skating rail that they've installed here. It's almost as if the council can't get enough of it in town. They've had to come up on the mountain to try and ruin people's fun. Doesn't seem to have stopped much, but I gave that rail a lick before. It doesn't taste anything like ribs, so I don't know where they're getting that from. I don't know whose pleasure that's ribbed for, but it's certainly not mine.
There goes A-Hall. Nice little over the rainbow.
What's the rainbow jump here in front of us, Ed Lee? What's the signature move going over the rainbow? Are you looking to have contact all the way over? Are you looking to, I saw someone do a backflip over it.
Yeah, there's been a couple of rodeos when you start spinning on a different axis. We've had a rodeo transfer. Julia Tano out of Switzerland there, just having a little dip underneath it. Ski grab over it there. Yeah, not too much speed is the key to that one.
Yeah.
Because I've seen a couple of people fly over the whole thing. How much of the rail do you have to touch it for it to count?
Well, I suppose what you're looking for here is intent. Does someone actually mean to do it? Are you hitting and hoping, or is it all about style? This contest is essentially for show-offs. Oh, there's the first of our big inverted tricks off the banana rail up at the top. Daisy Thomas out of Australia. She's got some game.
That was huge. Yeah, it's basically, I mean, obviously fashion's a big part of the mountain, as we see another one just kissing the rail as they come over the rainbow there. Another one again. How much does your fashion weigh into, because obviously this is a peer-reviewed competition?
It's everything.
Yeah.
If you look good, you play good. If you play good, they pay good. Those are the rules in skiing and snowboarding.
So you're telling me that my $20 Cadrona glasses that I bought from the shop about 5 minutes ago probably aren't going to cut it?
No. It's not happening. But what's interesting is you can kind of, the style now that people are adopting, it looks like kind of Christian rappers from the American Midwest in the 90s, but with a helmet on. Sort of super baggy pants, really tight top, wrap around sunnies, but then with bulb head helmet. It's a look. It's a really strong look. Oh, eyes on the prize there, boys. Ava Beer, probably the best name in the field.
Yeah, she's my favourite so far, just purely because her name is Beer.
Yeah.
I'm actually having a beer right now as well.
Rumour has it her brother's called Free. One of the most popular men in school.
What kind of, so I see, ooh.
That Switch 450, if you're looking for names here, Switch 450. Here comes Ferdy Dahl, the Norwegian, named after an Indian dish, my favourite Indian dish. And founder of Capiche Clothing.
Capiche?
Yeah, if you're on the look. Basically, Manaia,
Yeah.
you need to go and speak to him now and go and get a load of swag. You could be drippy as
Yeah,
brother.
my pants are far too tight, I think, is what I've realised.
There is a lot of drip on this mountain, I'll give you that,
We
Lee.
had the opening ceremony last night, and I just couldn't believe the amount of fabric that was in the room.
Yeah.
The jeans, I've never seen anything like it.
It's claustrophobic at times, isn't it?
Can be, for sure.
We're talking of drip, though. Only about 50% of it is kind of swaggy fashion jewellery drip. The other is drippy nose
Yes.
from people over the age of 35.
Yep.
I often wonder, like, there's so much drippy nose in Wanaka. There's a couple of people, and it's constant. And you wonder whether it stops during coitus,
No.
or whether their partners just get used to being dripped on.
Certainly not. No, you'd have to factor that into whatever your arrangement was, wouldn't you? Whether who's on top or whatever your situation may be. We're not
My
here to
ears are
judge.
blocked. It's my turn to go. Or Finn Billis. Keep your eyes out.
Oh, Finn.
Oh, Finn is, I think, he's a polymath of a skier.
Well, he's a strong off-mountain performer as well, and it's very hard to do both.
Or Unikangas, the very creatively minded Finn there.
Of course, Finn Billis, winner of the inaugural Off-Mountain Award last year, was he?
He was, yeah, and
And,
he's looking to defend his title this year. Ed, you came close last year, Ed. You had a really strong performance in the last night.
Yep.
But you left your run a bit too late.
Yeah, I'm one and done.
Yeah.
I don't have the stamina for it these days. One of my other favourite names, this is out of Quebec, just in front of us in the white jacket, is Emero Maha. But, you know, Dustbox, Zephyr Lovelock. That boy loves a bit of non-binary social action. He's very experimental player.
Yeah.
Right.
But Emero has managed to distill her name down to the wonderful Momo.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, it's really good.
That is good. I like that.
Just saying it, you can take your name down 2 octaves,
Momo.
can't you? Momo.
Coming up next, we've got Momo.
Next up, Momo.
So welcome along.
Say it
if,
again.
if you've just joined us, welcome along to the Jossi Wells Invitational here in Cadrona. I had to make a little bit of a pivot today. The wind was a bit too strong and there was a bit of cloud cover, so the big air had to get postponed, and we've up sticks and moved into the Rail Jam Park with myself, G-Lane, Manaia Stewart and Ed Lee. And it is, like I was saying before, it is WrestleMania. Basically, everyone's just going for it, and the last man stands.
And we've got the biggest names in skiing and snowboarding. Just in front of us now, we've got Alex Hall, aka A Hall, Olympic slopestyle gold medalist. You're not allowed to snicker every time I say it. We've actually got we've got microphones on some of the riders, and we decided to mic up Mia Brooks, first woman to land a 1440. And it's probably, when you're thinking of some of the world's best snowboarders, you're probably not thinking of an accent like this. How you doing, Mia? I am right good. It's been brilliant so far. I'm just having the best time on that ribbed rail. It's epic. Okay, thanks, Mia. Awesome. Speak to you later. Yeah, Manchester. Grew up in a snow dome.
Right, ta-da. Ta-da, you shitter.
There it is. Jossi himself. There he is. He's got a bit of a hike on.
Yeah, it's his third time past us. He's starting to blow a little.
Well, fatigue's starting to set in for him. I'm really just starting to warm up into my work now. I was just...
Was that a spread eagle into a reverse cowgirl I just saw then?
Yep, 100%. That was exactly what it... How did you know?
I don't know. I just had a feeling that that was coming.
People get really uptight about the trick names. The reality is you can just say what you like. About 0.1% of the population will be offended.
The Mr. Miyagi? We're going to see a Mr. Miyagi or a...
That's when you leap into the air and then use your ski poles like chopsticks to grab another skier.
That's right. We were
super hard move.
Informed of that by a young athlete on the way up the mountain today. We had to hitchhike up because we didn't bring any chains. So
holy Toledo! It's only the third best beard in Wanaka.
Byron Wells.
Look at that thing! It's sumptuous. Yes, brother. So good to see Byron Wells up here.
I'm looking forward to him dropping a blue vein cheese custard chucker off the rainbow rail.
Yeah, that's going to be a sight to behold. Byron can actually do some ski identifying for us.
Oh, that'd be good.
Who's that with the amazing kind of bleached out perm?
Bleached out perm?
Yeah, and the curls are kind of rolling up under the helmet. He looks like a cherub who's had a little cherry put on top of him. There we go. Look at Max Moffat. We talked about the apex predators.
Yeah.
He's the alpha.
Right.
Dressed in black.
Just here.
Yeah.
Not much drip coming off him though. He just doesn't need the drip.
Very workmanlike.
Well, you say that. The pants are pretty, there's a lot of fabric there.
Yeah. Also, running I've just been informed about the goggle etiquette. Kids these days, you should not be putting your goggles over the top of your helmet. Only people aged 35 plus should do that. It's important when you're on the mountain that you're looking good and you're not a kook.
Yep. 50% of skiing is looking good. The other 50% is knowing you look good. When you know you look good, then yeah, you're absolutely fine.
Look good, ski good.
Ooh, that's called a tail press. Oh, I like that. Very nice.
We've got to ride it down and back play there. A little sore shoulder action.
So what are you saying there? Oh yeah, someone's hit the dirt out the back there. Hope they're okay over there.
Yeah.
Just might have to just maybe pump the brakes on people coming down.
Yeah, we're looking for a course hold there, please. Ooh.
Oh, look at her. Might be a...
Potentially flying tonight.
Thinking of pop shoulder. I've noticed a lot of the athletes, I don't think that there's many other sports where someone can wear a set of headphones.
We need a...
I
need a medic at this stage.
Yep.
So we're just going to hold on the course for now as they're just dealing to someone who looks like they may have busted their collarbone.
I'm going to go with dislocated shoulder.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, because we haven't identified them, we're technically allowed to speculate on what they've done.
Okay.
Because no one watching will be too worried. But yeah, it's one of those sports, it's a pretty regular occurrence. Dusty Henriksen.
Oh, that's some drip.
Now that is the mega drip.
That is, he is...
Dusty's like human peanut butter, like the smoothest stuff you've ever tasted.
You like smooth peanut?
No, I hate it.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's like Dusty's got that consistency. Like there's substance, but he's still close to fluid. If that makes sense.
Does he stick to the roof of your mouth?
I haven't tested it out, but
He looks like he would.
yeah,
Right,
I think so.
So just holding on here while we get some medical attention to someone who looks like they may have either dislocated their shoulder or maybe cracked their collarbone.
Hold the front page, boys. We've got a good distraction coming up here. He's dressed head to toe in black.
Yep.
This is Ben Richards, a.k.a. skiing's David Gandy. He is technically illegally good looking.
Right. Oh, yes, he does. He's got dangerously good-looking skin, doesn't he?
You're so handsome.
He's very Jeremy Wells-esque in his skin tone.
What is it with Wellesley? Like,
He's hairless.
he is,
He's
isn't
hairless. He's like a hairless mole.
From the eyebrows down.
Yeah.
Has he? But that's the thing. How do you have so little hair on your body and then such fantastic hair on your head?
Well,
Yeah, it's a freak of nature.
It needs to be studied, and also a rich oak complexion throughout the seasons. In the depths of winter, he will be the exact same shade as at the height of summer, and no one can really figure it out.
Do you think it is genetic, or do you think it is the result of an extremely rigorous beauty and wellness regime?
I think it was part of a lab test gone wrong. All right.
Okay, there's one of two things happening. It's either all of the weak points of the gene pool have collected in his groin area, and he's got the most ugly specimen you've ever seen, or he's perfect and it's gorgeous.
We can only hope. My suspicion is it's the latter, though, unfortunately. We talk
it
about
probably is,
we
isn't
talked
it?
about BDE before.
Jeremy's got it.
He's got BDC, hasn't he? He's got BDC and BDE.
Yep.
But
I've got a friend who had SDE, and I mean, it could even have been micro DE, but you could set your clock. He was a photographer, and he'd drive home in his Porsche with one of the models he'd been shooting that day, and then they'd go up to his room, and somewhere between 12 and 15 minutes later, she'd come back downstairs.
Right.
And you'd both kind of make a face at each other like, oh, well, never mind.
Okay.
And they were like, yeah.
What are you going to do?
He got rohypnoled once, and this is true story. He got rohypnoled, and he woke up, and his clothes were folded neatly next to him with no evidence of any interference. So there is an upside
Just
to
a good Samaritan.
MDE.
yeah, the micro energy. You get your clothes laundered for you when you get that's an advantage, isn't it?
You've got enough going on here, mate. I'll just do your laundry for you.
Oh,
Yeah,
God, I feel
that's-
sorry for this guy. What can we do? He's unconscious at the moment. He's nude. I think we'll just wash his clothes and fold them neatly. But just a bit of a delay here, ladies and gentlemen, at the Jossi Wells Invitational in Cadrona. We're in the Rail Jam Park, and someone who's damaged their shoulder. I'm not sure who it is. Have you identified who it is yet, Ed? You're the
No.
official identification person. Here comes Ski Patrol. He's
Ski Patrol's going to hit the gap.
Oh.
Get him.
I think that's Ben from Ski Patrol. He actually rescued me a month ago. He came and got me off the mountain, and I tore my hamstring.
Go on. Yeah, there's a couple of GCs on the patrollers crew. There's one guy who's part-time fireman in Wellington. He's like, if you're looking for marriage material in New Zealand right now, Geordie, the fireman in Wellington, part-time patroller at Cadrona, is high up the list.
I tell you what, I got the banana boat down with Jackson. I don't know if you've met Jackson on the Ski Patrol, young Jackson. He's a dangerously tall drink of water. He is.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Well, Geordie's a Pisces. He likes Jack Russells and hikes. So if that sounds like a bit of you, that's where you get yourself out today. Hold the front page. It's Gen H in the house. Right. So Aaron Jameson having a little wander around there. He's the custodian of the Platinum crew.
Yep.
A gang of juvenile reprobates who terrorise this hill on a regular basis. He's got Rocco, his son, there.
Yep.
Absolute weapon on the big air, but he's got big rail energy as well. Definitely.
It looks like they're getting the green whistle out down there too.
I'd say green whistle's a dislocated shoulder.
Yeah,
because
okay.
they'll get the green whistle in, and then they'll get the sling under it.
Yeah.
And give him a good old yank.
I tell you what, if you ever do get injured, don't ask for the green whistle like I did. I requested, I begged for the green whistle, and but the Ski Patrol looked at each other and said, "You're not getting the green whistle if you ask for the green whistle." And I was like, "That's disappointing."
I don't want the green. No, I definitely don't want the green
I
whistle.
should have been writhing around in pain.
Whatever you do, do not give me the green whistle.
Ever. Don't give it to me now. Not right now.
don't.
Not this very
If
second.
anyone has a green whistle on the mountain at the moment and is listening to this, we're just down sort of not too far from where the rainbow rail is. Please don't bring us 3 green whistles, whatever you do.
Oh, that was a good perm as well. I tell you what, there are definitely more perms on the mountain this year. I think if we're trend forecasting for 2024 winter,
You saying perms?
yeah, I think perm sticking out under the helmet is
Yep.
going to be a big look.
Yep, perms are big at the moment. I blame it on TikTok. Everyone's filming themselves. They want to perm the fringe there. That'll look good on your TikToks, your Instagram stories. I think it's too late for us. Lane, I wouldn't recommend you getting a perm.
No,
I think this is a trend that you probably should just let through to the keeper.
Yeah, no, I think I'll...
You're pretty much on the same page as me, aren't you? One hairstyle left?
Yeah, I've got one left.
Yeah.
Then it's just holding on for dear life as well, that style.
We're talking about BDE and the BAE and the SDE and all the various different DEs, but I've actually got early onset dad dick. I just had a diagnosis the other day.
Really?
Yep, I don't have children, but it can, in some rare cases, come on early.
Can I have to describe this for me? Because I am a dad, so I want to know what's happened to me.
Well, it's a phenomenon that happens to a lot of men when they become fathers. It tends to descend a little bit, grow in weight and girth, and
Like a dad bod.
Yeah.
like a dad bod.
Yeah.
Yeah, much like a dad bod.
Starts to sag.
That's right. But yeah.
See, I'm really unlucky. I'm technically what's known as a Rantalian. And this comes from, you ever heard of in the English Civil War, it was the start of the musket.
Yes.
And a Rantalian, so you had your musket, and then you had your shot pouch
Yeah.
where you kept your shot for your pistol.
Right.
And then you had a fowling piece, and you would shove your fowling piece into the shot pouch
Yep.
to get some shot.
Yeah.
Right.
Rantalians, their shot pouch was longer than their fowling piece. And
Okay.
That's
Sick.
my reality. I'd pay for some dad D now.
Yeah, right. Okay.
Like just pulling that down a bit and evening the score up.
Yeah, okay. You see, you've got an imbalance issue
Yeah.
there going on there.
And that's normal, and I think it's our job to sort of normalise these kind of things. It's good to be able to talk about them
Yeah.
openly and in a safe environment. Here on the side of Cadrona.
Oh, that wind is just abated just
Oh,
slightly
there
there.
we go.
That's good. That is good. But here at the Rail Jam, the Jossi Wells Invitational in Cadrona 2023, is just a little bit of a delay here as someone's got the green whistle getting dealt to a potential
There's
dislocation of the shoulder.
I'm hoping that's what it is, because that's a quick fix. You're not going to be in pain for too long. We just missed, actually, you might have seen the man passing through your picture there dressed all in pink. Sam Weston, the Canadian coach, always got strong pink energy on the hill.
Ooh, just tangled up in his own skis there. Tipped off the edge. So I think we're down to basically one route available to you at the moment, isn't it?
Obviously, it's a peer-reviewed competition. Ed Lee and Manaia Stewart. And Jossi was mentioning it, actually, that your off-mountain performance is just as important as your on-mountain, because you may pull the sickest tricks, but if you're a bit of a dick at the bar that night, no one's going to be voting for you.
No, exactly.
So it's an all-rounder. It's an all-rounder award, really.
You got to have the drip, the
Yeah.
swag, on the hill, off the hill. Got to have some chat as well. It's
Yeah.
no good just being all dark and moody for the entire time.
No. Everyone kept a lid on it last night, which I thought was good to see. Oh, have a look at this now, sliding down backwards
Up the
down the
Waz.
mountain. We've got an up the Waz sign. Waz fever. It's just, there's no way you can hide from it.
It's a good shade of lipstick too.
Bright pink.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, really
Yeah.
strong. See, a lot of skiing going, oh, that was a beautiful little, that's the magically named Eli Bouchard.
Bouchard.
He did a double backflip when he was 8, I think.
What?
Youngest ever double backflip. Pretty impressive. But he just caught his toe edge on that mailbox and got a dignity stripper into the snow.
We've been given the sign here, the up the Waz cardboard sign. I'm not sure exactly where it came from. I don't know if you can see that on the stream. We'll have to bring it across here a little bit.
Up the Waz.
Up the Waz, and I'm looking at the back of it. They've obviously had 2 goes at this because they ran out of room. They only got up the W, ran out of room, and so they've had a second go at it.
Well, that means something else, doesn't it, up the W?
Yeah, I was going to say I prefer up the W.
Yeah, same. Up the dub. almost got taken up the dub at the bully last night.
Yeah?
Yeah. Yeah.
Strong look for the bully.
Yeah.
It's usually pretty straight edge. There you go.
Great crowd in there on a Thursday night. Tonight is the Bully Idol.
Bully Idol, the final of the Bully Idol. It's been running for 4 months now, Bully Idol.
Karaoke competition. You have to have won the heats to be in the final. Don't show up there tonight thinking you're just going to waltz into the final of the Bully Idol.
What's your go-to on the karaoke?
Psycho Killer, the real crowd favourite.
Strong, I like
Yeah.
it. Go on, give us a rendition.
I need to. We did actually start at a cappella because the karaoke machine wasn't working.
That's strong moves.
Yeah, it was. Well, I mean, look. To be fair, I was probably about 12 crate bottles of Export Ultra Deep, so
Okay.
the larynx was loose.
It was ready for action.
Yeah, it was.
Look,
ready
there
for
it
action.
is. Look at that perm.
Yeah.
Look at it. It's beautiful. It's just had a shot there. Someone coming in for a little bit of a carve up top.
Yep.
He's had a taste of the wall ride. 270 on, 270 off. Now he's done. So the lower section of the course still officially closed. Our athlete is on the back of the sled though.
Well, that's good.
Stabilised. Anytime they're going to move them, you know that they're stable. I used to work at some freestyle motocross events and the injuries were just...
Oh, motocross would be horrendous.
Yeah.
Well, not just freestyle motocross. Like, so you know that the heli, you knew it was bad if the heli wasn't taking off.
Right.
And I watched a guy double backflip, present all of his major organs to the floor from 20 metres up, and then under rotate.
Ooh.
And his helmet cracked into little bits, and then they were drilling holes in his head to release the pressure on the.
oh
Yeah,
Lord.
it was. So this is a walk in the park. Like this is nothing. We're fine here. They've already got him on the sled.
Yeah, I used to marshal local motocross events when I was a kid coming up, and those people aren't even good at riding motorbikes, so that was an experience all of its own. Watching.
Did you get taken out?
No, I never got taken out, but I saw bones, and you don't want to see bones.
No, that's a big one, isn't it?
Teeth are the only bones you really ever want to see of a human, where possible.
And the BD.
And the BD, obviously, the SD,
The BD bone.
the MD. So a lot of bums on seats, and I personally am starting to regret not bringing as much Export Ultra across here as we could potentially have.
There you go.
No, thank you. I've got
you got one.
I'm good for one.
Yeah.
I'm good for one. It's just there's a lot of people sitting down, a lot of downtime.
Oh yeah, we could have just handed them out up there.
Yeah.
Probably not to the athletes, but
Tell you what, Rel Harwood over there, not taking no for an answer, absolutely smashing this course up. Momo is on course. Yes, Momo.
oh come on, Mumu.
Say it again. Momo. She's looking casual there.
Very casual, no gloves as well. I mean,
Pretty sure she's, if memory serves, she is the new junior world champion in big air. So one for you to look out for there, Manaia. She's coming for your titles.
Yeah. Well, I did have her on my radar coming into this morning. I kind of did breathe a sigh of relief when...
Local boy Rocco Jameson rocking the purple.
yeah.
He's got a bit of Joker vibe going on with the monster green on the helmet as well, hasn't he? So
Another important piece of drip is the shoelace belt.
yep, heavy.
Yeah, that's something that's going on at the moment that I'm seeing a lot of. Again, don't know if it's for me. I might be a bit too past it, but
I might have to put two shoelaces together.
you're gonna have to. You've then got to sag the pants a little bit so that people can see it.
Chamber Mazit Brown going for that checkerboard stripe, and he gets that lovely little rock fakie. Ooh. Come on. I'm just making these tricks up,
Oh, yeah.
honestly.
So we almost clear of the course there.
Our patient is sitting upright on the back of the snowmobile over there, so it looks like they could be okay. They're just being talked to now, and they're loading their gear up into the back of the sled, so looks like they'll be underway. Now that I know that they're at least semi-okay, how do you think that's going to impact their score? Because obviously everyone's judging each other over here. Is that points on or points off?
Well, it's a massive kicker, so if he doesn't show up, if he goes home and sulks tonight about his injury, it's going to damage it heavily.
Right. And this is what we were talking about. It's as much about the off-field or off mountain performance as it is on mountain.
Well, I saw
peer reviewed.
I saw a showdown between a snowboarder, a mountain biker, and a motocross rider coming back to the motocross in Mammoth, California, in the Northern Hemisphere spring. And they'd all done a jump at the same time, then they all went to ride down. The motocrosser didn't take his boots off, just strapped into a snowboard in motocross boots, and seemed to have the same... His internal speedometer was set for motocross, not snowboarding. So he hit a jump at about 3 times the amount of speed he needed, tachoed himself in half and broke 3 vertebrae. I met up with them that evening and he was out drinking White Russians with a back brace on. He'd broken 3 vertebrae around 6 hours previously and he was out drinking that night. Stable fractures, according to him, so he's well within his rights to get pissed.
Oh, stable fractures,
Yeah.
well,
So you can get pissed when that happens.
Okay, there we go. You can recognise that who the athlete is from here as they make their way past.
Do you know who that is, Byron? Oh, it's little Walker Shreds. No. He's been like the absolute ripper on everyone's lips for the last couple of years. His Insta handle is Walker Shreds, and he absolutely, I think he's about 12, he might be 13 now.
Well, he'll bounce back from that then.
Yeah, exactly. And the fact that he's like in this realm, in action sports, and I imagine it's the same in like grown man's rugby, if someone's able to sit up and be sledded away, then
that's right.
the head and the spine are intact and they can fix everything else. So.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm actually looking forward to the Glaswegian smoothie into the Lincoln Loop.
The Glaswegian smoothie. Oh, rare sighting of the lesser spotted tiger Hasegawa up at the back there. He's the drippiest Japanese rider ever. And there's a lot of, because you've got the translation barrier with a lot of the Japanese riders, they're so ridiculously good, but they take some of the heaviest slams you've ever seen, and they always seem to come up with 2 thumbs up smiling. And there's a lot of debate around the fact whether they're the hardest people in the world or whether they just bottle it up, go home and just cry their eyes out the moment they're in private.
Yeah, I think that's more the case. So we're getting back into it now.
Yep, course is open. So everyone's...
It's going to take a couple of minutes just to find that fire again, but mark my words, when we do,
Well,
they're going to burn this place down.
And a lot of blokes having to walk back up the hill now. It's sort of frosted shut, a few of them. There's still about 10 sitting on the side of the hill over there.
Who have we got here? Beano Barclay. Ooh, with the pretzel off. I'm not making it up, that's actually real. Yeah. Is anyone? Don't know. Go up to that crew up there.
So what's happening here is because we've got headsets on, we're being asked about administrative tasks. It's not unlike when you have to MC a wedding and the caterers want to negotiate with you over cutting the cake fees.
Yes. I'm only talking.
So that's what's happening here.
Try, if you see Jossi, tell him.
Looking...
Jossi's the man you're looking for over there.
Here we go, the rib rail is back on.
See, that was Mia Brooks. We're not allowed to not answer her. She's...
Yeah.
That'd be like not speaking to Dame Tiri Tikanawa.
But she's a bit of a bitch, though.
Certainly as far as dames go.
Mia's not.
No, I'm not about I'm talking about the Dame. Kidding.
Oh, right. So do
Yeah.
you think Dame Kiri has kind of been knocked down a peg or two?
I think so. Well, she doesn't really leave her flat in London these days.
Oh, really?
Kensington. So.
Voice of a generation. Speaking of dames, Dame Valerie Adams on our flight down here. And that really eased G Lane's fears as we were about to board the plane.
Because planes,
Anxious
they'll
flyer.
never crash. They'll never crash if someone that famous is on your plane.
Really? Do you
But,
believe that?
Yeah, and also, but Joe Jury, who was with us, was more upset because he said if the plane goes down, he'd get no column inches in the paper because it'll all be about Dame Valerie Adams.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, so he was a bit upset about that.
How close did you sit to her?
You can smell it.
See, I got on the plane in Queenstown once and she'd done an after dinner speaking gig.
Yeah.
And you know when you look at the plane and you're like, where am I sitting? And I kind of was doing that, like, I'm roughly going to sit. And then I was like, oh, the seats are tiny. And then, like, Valerie was sitting next to me. She was in the middle seat, and I had no seat in front of me. So I said, "Do you want to swap?" And we swapped. She had the most beautiful eyes.
Striking.
They were kind of these insanely crystal, emeraldy green eyes. I melted. I wanted her to pick me up and take me off the plane and throw me around somewhere. She was just,
She has that effect on people.
I think she'd be top 3 for my hall pass, out of curiosity.
Really?
Yeah.
Dame Val.
Dame Val. Or
Yeah.
Dame Kitty Tanua. Dame Kitty would be up there with.
It'd be a bit dusty.
I'm looking forward. Are we going to see a Cossack back and crack?
I feel like we've just done something really terrible there.
Yeah, we have. It's a national treasure.
National icon. The Cossack backsack and crack, I mean,
Yeah.
it's one of the more ambitious moves,
I
I think.
it's when you spread your legs and you put your arms between them.
Yep, that's the Cossack.
Yes.
But then you pull the wax off as you come back
Yeah.
up.
Can be known as the self-pleasure suplex, apparently. Yeah.
That's a big one.
It's
A-Hall on course.
A-Hall. There
He's
he
going
goes.
casual though. Look at this.
Look
Low
at it.
speed.
It is so casual from A-Hall, and he just bails over the other side and spread-eagled.
He actually pressed the A-Hall. I think you'll find.
Joe Jury doing some great work there with some of the biggest international skiers with the up the wires sign.
Now, I've yet to put a positive identification on this suspect, but he's just put down a lovely backlip revert. Dane Menzies, a.k.a. Dane Sings, a.k.a. Dane Dines, doing a little bit of work there. On Luke Harold, the most serious skier on the mountain, taking care of business up top. Oh, it's starting to heat up.
Here we go.
Unikangas.
Here they come.
Yes, and a bit of drip. Did you see? So you can have drip on your clothes, but you can have physical drip, or what's known as afterbang.
Yeah.
Which is that you land something good, and you let everyone know by
Yeah.
turning your body to blancmange. You just go, ugh, I'm so sick, I'm going to melt.
Serious pair of speed dealers directly in front of us here.
Well, the speed dealer's coming back, Manaia.
Yep.
And look at the lid, he's got the low profile lid on it as well.
It's
got
a
a-
skate bowl helmet.
It's got a Nazi vibe to it, hasn't it, that helmet?
A little bit
low-
Iron Cross, yeah.
Yeah.
He might regret that later.
Yeah.
He's being asked to hold a sign. He has no idea who the wires
I
are.
don't think English is his first language.
He's expecting a call from his manager as soon as this post hits Facebook.
That's Kai. He's to be fair, he's as loose as a rental bowling shoe.
Oh,
so
okay.
if he's got a manager, I'll be very surprised. Bino back in the mix. Very nice, Bino. Bit of wind around,
Yeah.
isn't there?
There is.
Yeah, that's the reason why we're not doing the big air. We just had to pivot a little bit. The big air was a bit too risky with high winds. You'd end up, some people would probably end up in the snow park over the valley if they got caught in one of these gusts. But so we've had to change up, and we're down at the rail jam with myself, G Lane, Manaia Stewart, and Ed Lee. It's 80 odd athletes here, just jamming.
Really starting to get into their work now too.
Yep. This is
Flying
it.
through.
Imagine this being your job.
Oh no.
There you go.
I mean, I've talked about it a lot, but if I could be any kind of athlete, I think it's either this or surfing. Just the tours, the places you get to go.
100% surfing.
Yeah.
Like you get to like, it's warm.
Yeah.
I'd certainly much rather be on a beach right now, but yeah, you're right. Some of the places you get to go.
It's really starting to
around the
whip.
world.
Well, it depends. There's upsides to the snow game, as we talked about before with Jeremy Wells's genetic perfection.
Yeah.
Yes.
If you're not as genetically perfect, you get to cover a lot of things
That's
up.
right.
Yeah.
There was a woman that I met in my first ever season. She was so hot. Like, I'd see her up the hill all the time. I talked to her a couple of times in the snow park, rode the lift with her, at Prey a couple of
Yeah.
times. And she'd always ride out the goggles. And then I met her later one evening, and she had the most incredible boss eye, which I actually, luckily for me, found very attractive. But for her, skiing was the ultimate sport because she got to cover up the lazy eye all
Yeah,
day.
well, that's a bit like if you go to university in Dunedin in New Zealand, in Otago, and you meet a partner at the pub or a potential love interest. You take them home. You never know what you're going to get really, because they're wrapped in about 8 or 9 layers, and you've got to unwrap the present.
Yeah.
And you don't really know what's underneath.
And you'd only need to go back kind of 80 years, and they would have been sewn into their underpants with some goose fat for the winter. So you'd have to fight your way in there.
Oh, bit of a bail off the rail over
So
the back there.
you can't see him on the pictures, but Lion Farrell just hiking in front of us. His dad's a big wave surfer, and his mum is a windsurfing world champion. That is action sports
That's
DNA.
a cool family. Yeah.
It's a lot of pressure. It's a lot of pressure on a kid.
Yeah, you've got to live up to the hype, haven't you?
Right.
No, it's good breeding. That's what that is. It's good breeding.
Yeah, well, and that's back to your Dame Val point. I think
Yeah.
that's sort of probably what you're picking up on there over there, Ed. When you look at that, you think the genetics and, you know, if you could pass that somehow, bring that into your family genealogy, then, you know, it's probably the best thing for you.
Well, I mean, we're passing back on to Valerie here. Like, that is a family of incredible genes.
No. 14 siblings, I believe.
How many of them are 7 foot?
Half of them at least. I mean, Valerie wouldn't be far away herself. They've got another sibling who's just won a shot put, I think, the more recent Commonwealth Games, and obviously Stephen Adams getting paid $30 million to play a children's game for a job. Wouldn't sneeze at that.
Yeah, I think that's the thing with skiing. It kind of keeps it real because everyone's probably on about $30 a day.
Yeah.
Here. Maybe a bit of rope and half an onion. I tell you what, Max Moffat getting through a lot of work on this course at the moment. He's definitely getting busy. Coming in switch to the ribbed for your pleasure rail. Oh no, he's swung it round again.
Ooh.
Now we got a bit of a train going.
Here we go.
Here we go.
This is what I came for.
The ribbing is copping a ribbing.
The big rail gangbang.
A-Hall's back in.
Yeah. Come on,
He
A-Hole.
pressed the A-Hall. Oh, he's pressed the hip. He's pressed the hip badly.
Stinger.
A-Hall feeling that one. Or Jossi Wells. You guys ever come across Jim Davidson?
I've met him, but
Yeah, he was like the British comedian
Yes.
back in the day, and he would only do a TV series if he could sing the theme tune, direct it, and act in it. Jossi Wells, he's the Jim Davidson of this event.
Yeah, we're just thinking, can you win your own event?
we talked to him about this yesterday, didn't we?
Yeah.
How's that going to go when you're marking it? Surely marks off. For
Well, that's why it's peer review.
yeah.
Yeah, but if you want to get invited back, obviously you vote for Jossi.
But
First taste of that big rainbow for a while.
how does it work as well? Because what if you don't see some of the other athletes? You know, there's 80 people competing here, and it's one a second at the moment. If you just don't see someone, what do you do?
We're getting up and overs now. It's all on. Oh, another person down on that one. Get out of there now. Don't hang around. It's the danger zone. Eli Bouchard back in. Oh, the ribbed round nearly taking its first proper casualty there.
Yeah, nearly took out Aussie Mark there. He's snapping some shots off.
Also in contention for best off mountain, Aussie Mark. He's getting into his work a day early, down at the Bullock Bar with us.
He's got a fantastically casual approach to life, doesn't he? It's like,
Well, last year he was a contender. He went out one night and he woke up in Arrowtown.
strong. Clothes or not clothes?
Clothed. Yep. Not folded up next to him.
$250 apparently was the bill for that taxi.
Yep.
He doesn't know who footed it, so he's just happy it wasn't him.
Wow, that's big. I mean, it's one thing getting to Arrowtown, but not remember, like that's over the Crown Range.
Yeah.
Unlikely they went round Cromwell, so not being conscious for that section. Momo.
Yeah, it's excellent.
Coming in hot.
Yeah, huge heat. And he'll be in the car park after that one, I'd imagine.
Here we go. So
It's interesting seeing Momo keep it small. I reckon she weighs somewhere around the 40 kg region, so if she gets anywhere close to airborne, yeah, she's in
going
the
to
bottom
take
of the
off.
valley.
Right,
yeah.
okay. She's going to end up in Snow Park or in the Cadrona Hotel.
Peak to pub. Oh, Dane.
Well, thanks for joining us. If you've just stumbled across the stream on YouTube or Facebook or NZ Herald, welcome along. It's the Jossi Wells Invitational 2023. Big Air had to get postponed this morning due to a bit of high wind, which we've still got a little bit of Ed Liam and I Stewart, which is turning my downstairs into a micro at the moment. I am freezing.
Certainly starting to take an effect, and I've started tucking into the Export Ultras as well, which is now chilling me from the inside too. So I'm taking a two-pronged approach to this one.
So we've got the rail jam, which basically is exactly what it says on the tin, really, isn't it, Ed? It's just people jamming on rails.
Well, here we see the rainbow. It's we've talked about it. It's basically a big game for show-offs.
Yeah.
The bigger your ego, the more you want to show off, the better you're going to do here. Ooh, nearly getting hung up on that down bar.
And all adjudicated off vibe as well. Much like the NRL, where the referees just rule exclusively on vibe. Did it look like you fucked it up? Did it look like you did well? And so that's how it's going to work today. Do we get a vote?
I think so.
Yeah, I think we do. Yeah.
100%.
Better start taking notes.
Yep, so I think the competition will continue over the weekend, and a prize giving on Sunday night, Manaia, which I believe you'll be heavily involved in.
Will I? Am I award? Do I decide? No, I don't have the final say, do I? It's all voter.
Fabulously named Zephyr Lovelock
Oh,
there
look
with
at
a
that.
beautiful Miller flip over the mailbox. I've got to say, props to the director here. We've probably got 130 athletes, maybe a few more, all attacking this course and its 8 features all at the same time. So trying to catch even one glimpse of coherent action is almost impossible. But back to the subject at hand, Zephyr Lovelock.
Yeah.
Have you ever come across the Lovelock before?
No.
You'll need 2 non-circumcised men. You will then reveal the end of the member and then place the members together.
Yes.
Roll back one of the foreskins over both bulges.
Is that space docking?
I think it could be. I thought, no, space docking is...
okay, something else.
Yeah. And then you roll the other one back.
Yeah.
You've created the Lovelock and then you both lean back
I see.
and see how much strain it will take. It's great. Great premise. If you've got 20 minutes free
The Lovelock.
and a couple of foreskins, get yourself in there.
So obviously the Zephyr Lovelock is family are famous for the Lovelock.
Yep. No doubt about it. That's 100% where that came from.
There's a few people just up sticks now and just turning into spectators here, Ed.
Yeah, well, that's what happens in a session like
Yeah,
this.
what
The
happens?
cream rises to the top. You've got to be able to keep pace with the session that's throwing down, and if you can't, you get out of the kitchen. So, only the heavy hitters are starting to get left. Max Moffat in there. Who's that up top? That looks... Max Moffat giving it some down the bottom here. I don't know who that was with the safety grab over the rib for your pleasure. Beautiful transfer. Oh, bit of high speed. This is Jackson Wells, got to be, hasn't it? At that speed. No one goes as fast as Jackson Wells. Oh, over under! Don't know who was on the top, but it was definitely Ben Barkley on the bottom. Bossy bottom. Yeah.
Ski tips right in front of the visor there.
Timing is everything. So the hike is real. These guys putting in some serious work.
He's really trying to get as high as he can before he takes his skis off there, one athlete.
Yeah, the old sidestep.
Yeah.
How far is he planning on going with that manoeuvre?
Rel Harwood up top. Just taking a pause there. Where's she going?
Oh, yeah.
Tail grab, one ski slide. How did he lock into that?
Very stylish. Again, more of a big ear guy myself, but got to appreciate
Look at that! Tail grab on that drop ski. The chances of catching a tip there and getting absolutely annihilated. Julia Tano. Just having a little sniff round, but she's done. Start of these sessions, I always call the dog's bum sniffing time.
Yeah, right.
You kind of have a little sniff, have a little think about it, see what you like, what you don't like. Lion Farrell, Action Sports DNA back in the mix.
Is there a part of it where people don't want to go too hard too early? You don't want to show your whole hand right at the top?
100%. So you save those big tricks till last. But because you want the energy. That's what happens here. As everyone starts pushing a bit, it brings all the rising tide raises all boats. Is that it?
Yep. I think so.
Rocco Jameson making his presence felt. Daisy Thomas as well, getting busy with those rails. She's not 18, so we're not going to mention which rail she was on. That would be untoward. Lovely ski slide there. A-Hall back in the mix, taking some speed.
Love A-Hall.
Oi!
He's one of those people who just seems to be singing from a completely different song sheet. He's got a completely different idea. You talked about Psycho Killer, Qu'est-ce que c'est?
Yeah.
Fa, 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 fa.
My favourite, All I Need, and almost every karaoke operator has this kit. I go, Cher, if I could turn back time.
Oh, yeah. Oh.
Quite high.
Because it only takes 2 minutes in the toilets to build the bikini. You do this, tuck everything up the back, skinny lady, duct tape over each shoulder, couple round the middle. If I could turn back time. And you're out there. Everyone loves it.
High impact. I wonder if they'd make a special exemption at the Bully Bar tonight for Bullyoke for the final. I know that they don't usually, but if they knew about
the sheer manoeuvre. Well, a lot of people don't know Manaia Stewart, the Edley, is world air guitar champion.
Is that right?
3-time undefeated.
Wow.
There we go.
Technically, it wasn't me. It was Satan Wappercock. He jumped out of a 9-foot penis with a detachable bell end. And he showered the crowd with his love. Actually, it was a foam fire extinguisher, but they didn't know it. Those were the days.
Oh, they were.
You could do anything back then. There it is again! That thing was insane! Who is that guy?
We have to know.
Who's that guy running around the rainbow? I'll tell you what, we are definitely at the business end of this session now. It's getting real.
Oh.
You're not even going to consider dropping into this park now unless you've got something big to offer.
I'm starting to think about it.
Oh, there we go, the over-under again. Yeah, I think it's ready for you now, Manaia. This is your time.
This is about where I jump in the pool, I think.
Oh! Is that high mute or a nose grab? It's anyone's guess at this stage. Surely you had that one, didn't you, mate? You spotted that trick.
I did.
The nose grab.
It was dangerously close to a screaming seaman.
Yeah.
Hearing rumours of a trick that people haven't actually seen on this mountain Arini, but they've talked about it for years. And the Mexican president has just announced that they've found 2 Mexican aliens. I'm looking for someone to unveil the Mexican alien, perhaps. I think on the ribbed rail. I couldn't tell you what it is because no one's seen it. Only a couple of people have been privy to it so far. So apparently it was a technique passed down over 1800 years ago. I think it's a hoax, but I'd be very interested to see if someone can pull it out today.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to someone dropping a loose flap spin. Which is a horizontal with a bit of a flat spin, if you didn't pick that up, Manaia.
I'd misheard you then. I thought you said flap spin.
Yeah, did loose flap spin.
Right, yeah. Yeah, you can do a flat 3, but yeah, a flap 3 would be...
The erectile flat spin.
That'll change your axis, won't it?
Oh, some pace. I'm pretty sure that's Una Kangas going, transfer. Una is well known for having apparel that's allergic to snow. Usually it refuses to touch snow, but it's a rare case of it not working there. Might need some antihistamine for that.
Yeah, I was a bit disappointed. Obviously, the big air had to get postponed this morning. I was looking forward to someone dropping a biohazard 720.
Yep.
Yeah.
Big news.
Yeah.
So this session, it's worked its way down. Probably started with upwards of 100 in the session, and we're now down to the last kind of 30, 35, I think. Really still taking this to pieces. A-Hall in the mix, Max Moffat in the mix, Annie Carava in the mix. Ooh. That's a tall drink of water on a snowboard. Always way, way harder if you're tall to make action sports look good.
Yeah.
Gustav Legnavsky.
Well, that's...
His mum is the queen of Cadrona. Bridget Legnavsky.
I was just looking at the drip, the fashion, obviously the baggy pants, but it does make people look like they're dwarves. Or they've got some sort of dwarfism.
Yeah. Apparently the only birth defect that is affected by a male's age. Much more likely to pass on dwarfism if you're an older father.
Right.
Apparently. Yeah.
Do you have to be a dwarf yourself to pass that on?
No, I don't. No, well, I'd say that with confidence. I have no idea.
Yeah,
Oh, so
Yeah.
so Ed, so we're just whittling it down now. It was chaos earlier, wasn't it? When all the athletes were coming down, I actually didn't know what was going on. I was worried for my safety when I went for a little bit of a walk.
Now, what we've got going on here, we're fully focused on the rainbow. We've had Zephyr Lovelock. Alex Hall actually started this, getting onto the rail, jumping off the rail,
Yeah.
landing on the rail, and then finishing off. Everyone, and then we've got a couple of grabs going down as well. I think Edward Terriot's in there. Dane Sings is in there, Zephyr Lovelock's in there, Lion Farrell's in there, Max Moffat's in there. It is a decent heavy hitting session on this bottom rainbow. There's a little bit more going on up top as well, but it's a bit windier, a bit further out of sight at the moment.
A little bit of a lull in the action. What's going on up the top? Are the athletes talking to each other? Are they talking shit, or are they geeing each other up?
Oh, they'll definitely be talking shit. There's so much shit talking. Like, imagine how much spare time you've got. You don't have to do any training.
Yep.
Pretty much all you have to do is play Candy Crush
Oh, huge back.
and come up the mountain for about 3 hours a day. It's if you're lazy, this is a fantastic. You basically have to be lazy and fearless.
I've always thought that. I don't think, you follow all of these guys on social media, massive social media following. Not a lot of videos of them in the gym. It's mostly just out there.
Oh, it's frowned upon if you go in the gym.
Is that right?
Yeah. Don't publicly announce that you're going in the gym.
Yeah.
That would be jock behaviour. And that's the thing. Like, you actually have to do some paddling and some work if you're surfing.
Yes.
You got to lift up the hill here.
Yeah, that's right.
Just literally fall down the hill, make it look good. Pick out your next round of swag. Come up the hill the next day.
Although, interestingly, in the rail jam right now, the athletes are having to walk back up. Is fatigue going to be sitting in for these riders?
Yeah, definitely. But this is it. Like, as we said, it's on the hill, off the hill. It's in Momo. Yeah, it's going to set in, but they've got to deliver on the hill and off the hill. So
That's right.
It's endurance of the legs and liver today. I think you might actually be quite disgusted to learn that quite a few of the younger athletes have actually sworn off alcohol.
Yeah, I know. The amount of monsters that were being shotgunned at the opening event.
It's out of control.
Hey, Jossi just still amongst it.
I think is that Cam Spaulding? Oh, that boy's got a lovely touch. You could put him on Antiques Roadshow. He looks like, you know how brown furniture's lost its value?
Yeah.
But some of it's still really cool. That's Cam Spaulding. Like, he's only 16, but he's got that expensive veneer to his riding that you just can't deny. Oh, Zephyr Lovelock back in. Airs off the rail. Rel Howard, what's she got for us? Ooh, muy nice.
Just looking at the styles there, the monster helmet there with the ear coverings as well, almost like a motocross helmet, almost, or like a...
See, I'm going more C50, the kind of 70s moped.
Yeah. That's what I was looking for.
Is Zephyr Lovelock. There he is. Look at that mane of hair. How you going, Zeph?
That is, look at that. He is like a stallion.
Ooh. So the place you don't want to be on a snowboard when you're losing your balance is on your heel edge. It's like that moment you're kind of stood on a ledge and someone just gives you a little tap, and you're balancing in the abyss between safety and death. That's the heel edge for a snowboarder. Yeah, look, this down at the bottom, the full flap helmet.
Oh, yep.
That is outrageous what's going on over there. No business grabbing the nose of the skis for that long. I feel like we might have some interlopers here. This is some serious poaching going down. I always love that. Your name's not down, you're not coming in. Yes, I am. It's a mountain. I can sneak in round the sides.
There does seem to be a bit of that going on.
Definitely. The uninvited have made their presence felt.
Yeah. Oh.
That had the whiff of Jackson Wells about it, didn't it?
Comes at pace, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Wacko.
Yeah, there's no telling. Max Moffat back in the mix. Oh. This is a pretty tasty session now. There's almost nowhere in the world that you'll see this calibre of athlete all throwing down in the same place on snow. They are ridiculous. There's another one of those perms.
Yeah.
Like very often you'll find people accessorising kind of gloves and goggles or pants and helmet trim, but it feels like it's definitely all about the perm at the moment.
Yeah.
Baggy pants and a perm.
Perm is very, very in at the moment.
It's a ginger perm too, which is
Yeah, aggressive.
Do you think it's bleached? Bleached ginger perm?
That's out of a bottle for sure. I'm not doubting that there's probably a tinge of ginge
No, I
in
think
the
it is.
fringe
I think
naturally.
I think it's a natural ginger because he's got the skin of a ginger.
It's a skinger.
Well, I was introduced to the concept of a day walker recently. I didn't realise, I didn't understand that. It's amazing.
Yep.
Ooh, that was definitely so. The most wonderful thing, you have what's known as the pussy check as you ride at an obstacle.
Yeah.
And it is the ultimate giveaway. Oh, Zephyr! Shut the front door. He's over the rainbow, massive front flip. Rocco Jameson, meanwhile, giving it a front board on the ribbed rail
Here we
for
go.
his pleasure and ours.
Here's the front flip replay. Look at that.
Ridiculous.
Lovely, soft, solid ice landing to soak him up, though. Yeah, with Mia Brooks with the 270 off. Wow, starting to speed up again. A lot of traffic through here. It's Hauraki Corner, isn't it?
Yeah.
Apparently the most popular old people's home in New Zealand because there's so much going on down at Hauraki Corner.
Really?
Yeah, who wants a great view of nothing when you can watch car accidents, road rage?
I used to live on Hauraki Corner.
Like it?
Yeah. No, not really. I moved. But it had everything you needed. But it did have a lot of traffic. Old homes, a lot of old people.
Did you ever make your way into the old homes?
No, not on purpose.
Apply your services?
Not on purpose.
My first job was in an old people's home. I used to get accosted by this one woman, Doris, regularly. Learned a lot about the ageing female body.
Yeah, right.
From my time there.
More than you'd like to know.
She actually, she told me that grass doesn't grow on a well-trodden path while showing me her pubes. 88, Doris was. A lot of life left in that woman.
Take a bit of turn from the sounds of it. I used to run a great Halloween ruse where my grandmother worked at an old people's home and she would buy them all lollies to give me and I would go through dressed as a ghost and just make out like a bandit because these people's families didn't want to visit them, and that's, you know, more for me.
Oh, Ben Barclay with a lovely bit of business there on the bottom mailboxes. Oh, and a full dab on the way out of that. He wasn't messing around. Usain Bolt would have been proud of that one. Okay, Jossi on the rainbow. Beautiful tail slide right on the tail of his skis there. A lot of up the wires energy, isn't there?
Out of control.
I tell you what, 2 years ago, I was just looking at the fashion of the up the wires there with the sunglasses. Obviously, the pit vipers were big a couple of years ago, and they're almost starting to go over the top now, and the speed dealers are coming back, the thin little speed dealers.
Yep. Oh, bit of a ham plant down the bottom there as well. Who is that? It could be Mitchy Davin. Tian's. It could be Brent's Green.
Bit of speed here.
Going to have to identify them. Oh, wait a second. Is it Mitch Brown? No, Mitch Brown will be all in black.
That's not Brown Dog.
Brown trout. 7 pound, 8 ounce brown trout. Snagged this morning.
Yeah. Never caught a brown trout. Caught a lot of rainbows.
Ooh. That was pretty sick.
Casual sick.
Casual sick. Yeah, it was smart casual. Max Moffat back in. Yeah, they've all got on this like airing into the rainbow, airing off it, and then getting a decent grab.
Oh.
Ooh. No business saving that. Reapplied the Hawking's law of physics. Right, Beano's back in the mix for the mailbox. And he's got it. Called a bring back. Got that one perfectly. Rotate one way onto the rail and then stop that rotation just as you get off. Luke Harold and Finn Melville Ives going doubles. Pulling that one off. Tell you what, we have got through a lot of action here.
It's been non-stop.
It just doesn't stop, you're right. But the rail jam replacing the big air, which was postponed. Unfortunately, we probably won't get the big air in, will we, this season, Ed, by the looks of the weather forecast?
Possibly not. A-Hall going pretty special. That was a present for everyone.
A-Hall up there with our soul.
6'4" of prime Alaskan pine. Strong but flexible.
Very workmanlike approach to his drip as well.
Yeah, there is.
Yeah.
It's really, that's a great insight, I think, there, Manaia.
Oi!
I think that was Bio Hand Drag 5 over the rainbow.
Not a biohazard? Was it
It could be. Almost certainly is. You ever taken suppositories?
No, but I've administered them. I've administered them.
Have you?
Yeah.
Manually or
Yeah.
for someone else?
For someone else.
Wow, I'm really impressed.
Oh, huge.
Zephyr stomps the fronty! Go on, Zephyr Lovelock.
I tried it before. Yeah, I've got a few friends who are quite big fans of the suppository, so much so that they had to invent an apparatus so that they could do it themselves because they were sick of having to do it for one another.
And the name of that apparatus?
It was the aspiratus. And the aspiratus was a crudely engineered bike pump with the soft flexible ending that had been engineered in such a way that you could use it to push yourself, so that they no longer had to do one another. So
I'm surprised they should have patented that.
The aspiratus.
Having spent a week, my wife's quite keen on the suppository, so if I even mention that I'm slightly ill, they'll be foisted on me, but no one else has put them in for me. It's been manual up until now. I would have been the aspiratus would have been on my shopping list.
Right up your alley, yeah.
Quite literally.
Oi, a little bit of a wipeout on the landing there, but I think...
That's called a snow snake. He'd actually got the skis down on the snow. It was something jumped up and bit him and pulled him down then, though.
The red band gumboots really not keeping the cold out at all at this point.
Yeah, I was going to say, well, I reckon they're doing a little bit better than the ACX.
Yeah, I'm on the ACX, and the ACX, I can't feel any of my toes at this stage. But getting to the business end now of this rail jam, do you think, Ed, it's going to thin out a little bit?
Yeah, I reckon if we're coming into that zone where if you've got something left that you want to get done, now is the time. So I think a few people going to be really pushing for this one.
Do you think that front flip before scared a few riders off?
Well, that's it. You step up to a point and you start clearing out anyone who's resting on their laurels. Either you're doing it or you're not. Mia Brooks, handy enough on the rails that she will have retired quite a few men from this session, I can tell you that much. Kirsty Muir, Scottish skier. Uncanny resemblance to Brave, the Disney movie.
Oh, really?
The Disney princess, yeah.
Yeah.
And she is from Scotland. Like, Scotlandness of name and look is like 9.5 out of 10. What's the most Australian name you've ever heard? Real name.
Ooh.
Apart from Paul Hogan.
Paul Hogan's not bad. There's a fella playing against the Warriors tomorrow night by the name of Bradman Best, which is a powerful Australian name.
That's a powerful Australian name.
Oh, huge backflip.
I think David Boone.
Ooh.
That's
David
a
Boone.
strong Australian name.
Merv Hughes.
Mervyn Hughes.
Mervyn Hughes is up there.
It really doesn't get much better, does it?
Doesn't get much more Australian. It's a good, honest, all-Australian name, Merv.
Okay, let's change tacks to our native land, New Zealand. New Zealandness of, I think Raywin Jones is one of the most New Zealand names.
Raywin.
Yeah. Daydrian. It seems to be more women's names that have been kind of customised in New Zealand.
Daydrian.
Yeah. It's like Adrian with a D.
Do you think someone spelt that and they put a longer stick on the A and a lowercase a and it just...
What? Right, that was utter. There's some utter madness getting thrown out here. Rocco Jameson going big on the rib. Meanwhile, Liam Farrell just got a tail grab on a rail. This is actually this is getting really mind melting. They've kind of arrived in that abstract point of trick. They've sort of driven themselves into this insane cul-de-sac of progression. I'm really enjoying this now. This is quite mad. Because if you take any of these riders to the Olympics or X Games, they're not allowed to do any of this stuff.
Right.
This is all the weird stuff that everyone's pulling out of their bottom drawer of tricks, blowing the dust off.
But it's happening at such a rate of knots.
It's a real train now.
Yeah.
They're coming down thick and fast.
Yeah, it's definitely, we've got it back up to full temperature. I heard, is that?
Jeez.
That might have been Little Kaisho. There's Quinn Wolferman. Oh, great name. Zephyr's just got that fronty on lock. Director's got smoke coming out of his ears as well.
Yeah. I think Dan's got that under control.
Going big off that mailbox down there is terrifying.
Yeah, it's not that pleasant, is it?
No, well, and also the ski field just ends right there. You're under rocks. So, and also that's the way people are walking back up. So, got a lot to contend with, and it's not going to score you any points.
No, there's a bit of tussock around you've got to deal with as well, just below that mailbox.
King of swag, actually, for our generation, Tim Pearce here.
He's in full head-to-toe huffer, isn't he?
Yeah, he's looking... Yeah, we're both wearing dark green kind of one pieces. It's a strong look. That's definitely the fashion this year. Okay, looks like Luca Harrington there. He's rocking the perm as well. Ferdy Dahl. I'd say my best way of testing a restaurant as to whether it's any good, you go for the simple dishes.
Yeah.
So if you're in an Italian, you go for the penne arrabbiata.
Yeah, not the spag bowl.
Could go spag bowl, but there's only 4 ingredients in arrabbiata.
Right.
If you get that wrong, then it's rubbish. Like a dal. It's like ginger, garlic, turmeric, lentils.
It's hard to get it wrong,
Exactly.
but even harder to get it right.
Do you know what the key is to a dal?
No.
Salt. Brings out the flavour of the lentil. Momo. Okay, so if you'd have rewound free skiing about 20 years, the biggest style crime you could have committed was a 50-50 on a rail. So that's when both of your skis are pointing forwards and you just ride straight onto the rail.
Yeah.
Because on a skateboard, a 50-50, you grind the rail straight forwards with the trucks resting on the rail. It was seen as the most shit thing you could do to do a 50-50 on skis. But it's come full circle. And now we're back at, like, it's become so unfashionable that it's the most avant-garde, outrageous thing that you could do. Like, right now, Mugatu, if he was a skier, would be doing 50-50s on skis.
Hey!
There it is, that Bio 5. In the snow, though. Some work to be done on that one. I reckon we're very much at last tricks point now. Anyone who's still riding has got some business they want to get stuck into. Double tip grab over that rainbow into the albatross carve. Looking good. Finn Melville Ives, this boy can eat about 8 bags of Haribo a day. The amount of energy he gets through is ridiculous. Julia Tano is still pretty busy there. Definitely some big players here. Pretty sure this is Unikangas.
Unikangas.
Imagine.
That's a great name.
It's so good, isn't it?
Are we saying Eunuch Angus? Is Angus the last name? Kangas.
No, it's
Is
like,
Angus a eunuch?
no. He's a kangaroo eunuch. The Finns always have the best names. There's Unikangas. Also, I haven't seen him riding, but he's definitely here somewhere. Rene Rinakangas.
Oh, yeah, the Rene Rinakangas.
Yeah. Look. Okay, so yeah, definitely a bit of height. Up the wires, over the over the rainbow.
Oh,
wow.
That's the money shot right there.
Gen H literally celebrating there.
You could do worse in a peer judged competition than doing the funniest trick on the day, and that was it.
They'll follow up the wires over the rainbow. Nailed it.
Tremendous. Quite a few skiers congregating down the bottom now.
Yep. I'll tell you what, I think I've got...
Hypothermia.
Yep.
Early onset hypothermia.
Yeah, I can feel my liver cooling down.
It's always a bad sign. We've also got to try and get to our vehicle down at the bottom of Valley View as well.
I'll give you a piggyback.
Oh, thanks, mate.
It's the least frightening thing you can do on a mountain is get on someone else's back. It's terrifying enough when you're doing it yourself. When you get on someone else's back.
I've made some stupid decisions in my time, Ed, and this won't be the stupidest.
Okay, I want to hear top 3. Let's go there.
The stupidest ideas.
I'll start you off if you want.
Okay.
Mine was a juvenile one, age 13.
Yeah.
I agreed to let my brother shoot me with his air gun
Yeah.
as I was going down the hill on my skateboard if he counted to 5. I then dipped my skateboard wheels, my cheap Kmart skateboard wheels, in petrol, set fire to them. I'd grown up watching The Fall Guys, so that was my idea of an awesome stunt, was to set your skateboard on fire, go down the hill while your brother shoots you with an air gun. He counted to 2. My skateboard wheels melted and threw me over the front, and he shot me in the back of the leg.
I tried to drive my parents' car cross-legged and crossed-armed. Drove through the garage doors.
What? Oh,
No, I was trying to back it out, and I tried to, and just instead of hitting reverse, I just went straight into the front of the wall. It's really hard.
I'd love to explore the logic of this at length. That's just unbelievably. Were you drunk?
You got a clutch? No, not at all. Just sort of be a good idea.
Curious.
Yeah. Can it be done? Could you cross your legs and cross your arms and control a motor vehicle?
Got a fantastically good answer for that.
Yeah.
Anyway.
On a related note, I ram-raided Windsor Castle one day in a Ford Focus while I was over there.
Really?
Yep, I had been...
How are you still alive?
I had a friend who was partaking in the whakamanas in the passenger seat, and I might have caught a contact as I was driving. We were driving to Windsor Castle. We plugged it into the GPS, and all I could focus on was 2 feet in front of the front bumper. So I just had my head down, following it until my mate started screaming. I look up, we're on the drawbridge at Windsor Castle, and 2 armed guards are running towards us with machine guns in hand, waving and screaming. I look up and just lost the absolute plot, to back out at pace and take off. So still never seen Windsor Castle. I'd love to go back there and check it out. I don't know if I'm on some sort of register. I don't know if my face is on the window, but
I think you'll be fine.
yeah.
That'll
Well,
be
the
all right.
Queen's gone, so she won't remember.
Yeah, they wipe the slate clean with each new one.
That's right.
Oh, that was solid. Good colour as well, like that sort of peachy tan. Daisy Thomas, busy all day. She's been stoic in her work.
Oh, Just held on to the landing.
Una getting the triple down on the rainbow. Oh, look, there's Nicholas Huber dressed in a suit with a laptop. I watched him living out his James Bond fantasies the other day. He's colloquially known as Der Nudist.
Der Nudist.
Yeah, it translates really easily from German. The Nudist. Yeah, he's an absolute weapon. Like, literally a walking hype machine. A human taser will electrify you. Okay, Julia Tano.
She's been busy too.
Yeah, she has, hasn't she?
G-Lane.
Great manners as well.
Oh, that's good. That's important.
Yeah.
Can we check in on the feet of G-Lane? Obviously running the Essex trainers at the moment.
Yep.
Are they frostbitten? Are we going to lose a toe or two perhaps?
Can't feel much, to be honest, but
Do you want to chuck that? I've got spare neck warmer you can put round the feet.
no, it's quite. I think I'll be.
Sure.
I mean, I've got dangerous athlete's foot, so probably best I lost a couple of toes.
Yeah, I'd end up with athlete's face then, if you put my neck warmer around your athlete's foot.
Well, there was a rampant case of athlete's throat going around in various different communities. Oh, a couple of years ago. Is that Aussie Mark stacking?
No, that's. I think that's Troy Tanner.
Troy Tanner stacks it right in front of us. Yeah, athlete's throat was going around from people doing shoeys.
Oh yeah.
And yeah, that was going around the
I'm glad that
SEC
hasn't.
officers.
I'm glad that hasn't translated to the ski community because there's nothing more rancid
Oi.
Oh no, shoey's a thing.
out of ski boots.
Yeah. Unfortunately.
Well, waterproof for the...
I gave away a snowboard last year at one a jam competition like this to anyone who'd urinate in their own boots. Unfortunately, it was my own son who did it.
Well, that backfired, didn't it?
Massively. Explaining that to my wife, she was rather upset.
He's won a new board, but he's going to need boots.
Sell the board for the boots. Oh, Rocco Jameson with the backpack there as well. That is drip.
There, yeah.
That boy's got some lovely style. Rel Harwood getting busy still. She's been really, yeah, there's been a lot of work done there. Lovely style as well. Lion Farrell, now he's been special. Oh, that didn't go the way he wanted. If you're named after any animal, which animal would you choose?
Beaver.
Oi.
Beaver Lane.
Beaver Lane.
Yeah.
Lane. I'd like a nice, strong, one-syllable name. Ox.
Ooh.
Ox, Stuart.
What are you, Ed?
Not sure really. Newt.
Newt.
I hadn't really thought of that through. Salamander. I think I'd be a reptile of some kind. I'm definitely cold-blooded.
Axolotl, perhaps.
Ooh, how cool do they look?
Komodo dragon.
That was the ultimate stall there. Yeah, I don't know. They've got dirty mouths, haven't they?
Filthy. Mind you, so have you.
Yep. Maybe that's very true. Komodo dragon. Oh, Dane Menzies. Take a bow for that one. That was very nice. Like, if we were talking about chocolates and not snowboarding right now, Dane Menzies would be a Ferrero Rocher.
Oh.
He was good enough for the ambassador. Look at this. The crew getting busy together. Although there is one of the Melville Ives twins, Finn, here in front of us in the red. His brother's the one who's probably got through 8 packs of Haribo. When they start showing any signs of tiredness, you know you're getting towards the end of the session. Boom.
Fatigue starting to set in.
Yeah, well, if that sun dips behind that hill, I might expire.
Yep. We'll have to get you the green whistle. Starting to quiet down now. Everything except for the wind, which is really getting busy now.
Yeah, I think we're fast arriving at the end of this session now. The wizard will come and say night-night.
The Jossi Wells Invitational 2023. Just a bit of a rail jam this afternoon. Thanks for joining us on YouTube, Facebook, NZ Herald. Unfortunately, the big air had to get postponed today, which was a bit disappointing. But weather conditions weren't conducive for safety reasons, we moved the up sticks and moved down here to the Rail Jam Park. Joe Drury's going to go through the park here. Let's see how he goes.
Oh, look at him. He's got the death plough, which is a very unique technique. It's only seen in people who've graduated. It lasts for about 2 weeks between graduating from stem Christie's, which is the beginning of the parallel turn, and the end of the snow plough. You have death plough. I'm pretty sure that was Rene Rinikangas. He hasn't even stopped to say hello. Like, he literally just rides through at Mach 10. Yeah, there's an interesting thing going on here, boys. The lift is going to shut in 10 minutes, so
yeah,
anyone who doesn't want to spend the night is going to have to get out pretty soon.
It is, the mountain will shut in 10 minutes, but no one seems to want to go.
No.
They're all still coming down, throwing down.
We're going to stay with it here. The Rantalian, the Dad D. And where do you sit in this conversation, G-Lane?
On the Dad D?
Well, just on the D. I'm a Rantalian.
Oh, okay.
Mania's a dad.
Early onset.
He's the non-dad with the Dad D.
Early onset dad.
I'm an anteater.
Oh, snuffleupagus.
Yeah, I'm a snuffleupagus. There's a lot going on there.
Awesome.
The wind sock.
I can wrap it around my wrist twice.
I know someone else who's got one of those, an Icelandic dude. It's very impressive.
Very impressive that you can, but should you? And in the company that you have done in the past.
I unfortunately got invited to an after party with New Zealand cricket after the World Cup final, and thought it would be a good idea to. Oh,
shut the front door.
Stupidly, thought it'd be a good idea to show it to the family and friends of the New Zealand cricket team. Didn't go that well, and then I tried to pash Grant Elliott over the Bay Marie. I was promptly thrown out of that party.
Good scene. So, I mean, if no one wants to get made out with over the Bay Marie and see an anteater of a snuffleupagus, then what kind of party is it?
That's what I thought.
It's not a party I want to be at.
Look, I misread the room, okay? That was...
Yeah, but, like, I think we need, like, party is probably the blandest word in the English dictionary. We thoroughly need better, like, you need bijou soiree is what you're at. You thought you were at, like, a throwdown and you're at a bijou soiree.
Right,
We need to find all of those different scales so you can apply the appropriate behaviour, aka the Beastie Boys, putting your D in the mashed potato, or making some small talk over the Bay Marie.
Yeah, that's right. There's some important distinctions to be made when you're inviting people to these things. Is it an ease up? Is it a hootenanny? Is it a throwdown? That's really the only crime you're guilty of, Lane, was misreading that.
Yeah.
It was a throwdown of sorts.
Well, no one else wanted it. But
We might have to wrap this show up. I can't really see much at the moment. Everyone's just hanging around.
Still some good sessioning going down. Yeah, in the air guitar guys.
Yeah.
yes,
Satan Wapicott was actually capable of filling the end of the D with liquid and then firing it with immense accuracy.
Well, yeah, I've witnessed you doing that. I've witnessed you doing that at a party actually with some whiskey.
Yeah, I misread that room as well.
Yes, you did. And you hit Joe Drury in the eye, and he never recovered.
you don't recover from that, do you?
You don't. You don't. Getting squirted.
You don't forget it either.
No, he didn't.
Certainly did not forget it.
No,
it was
he didn't.
The first thing he mentioned when he said, "Is Ed going to be there?"
Life is a story.
It is.
That's it.
That's right.
So, okay. Yeah, there's a crowd gathered now. If you're going to throw down, you better mean business. Tell you what, we've got through a lot of work on the mic today.
Yeah.
A lot of ground covered.
Yeah, absolutely.
Very little of it skiing related.
Well, it really threw me, because if you thought we knew little about Big Air, we know even less about rail jams.
Well, it's the chaos.
Yeah.
It's the organised chaos makes it almost impossible to try and pick out a trick. So it's much more fun just talking about fashion and D's.
Yeah.
It turns out.
Yeah.
Much more realistic to try and do that, at least.
It is. Well, it's something I've got a bit of experience in. So I can really lean into that topic. But you can see a few of the team are headed off down the mountain.
Not a
But,
few, everyone.
yeah.
Everyone's got their backpacks on. Everyone's leaving. It's just us left here on our own.
Right.
One of us is going to have to shoot the other one in the leg with an air gun.
I'll drive the skidoo down, cross-legged and cross-armed.
Yeah, we need to feign an injury to get the skidoo here.
Well, that was a good point.
Yeah. Manaia's only injured around the face, neck, head, ears, legs, feet, torso, pelvis, buttocks, legs, and hands. It's fine. But we need a sled.
Yeah. Please, whatever you do not bring the green whistle.
Here's Jossi.
Still got
Tidy,
it, hasn't he?
Hasn't he? What?
He's like Steinlager, like just a classic.
Yeah, just keeps on delivering.
Have I just completely ruined your beer sponsorship deal there?
No, you said Export Ultra, didn't you?
Yeah, that's exactly what I said.
It's like a fine Monster Energy.
Yeah, there you go.
A Money.
It's like an old Money. So there's just see Luke Harold here? Fantastically talented skier, but his drip is that of, in comparison to all the other skiers here,
Yeah.
he looks like he's about to go to work in an insurance company, doesn't he? Look, he literally looks like he's 45. He's 16 and he's a free skier, but he's dressed like a 45-year-old.
He looks like me on the mountain.
It's amazing what you can project with a ski outfit.
I've got the full head to the toe ACC merch ski outfit. I can project an air of being able to ski to the untrained eye.
But I think it's the red bands that give you away though,
Yeah,
Manaia.
it is.
Yeah.
Haven't seen another pair of them up on the mountain today.
Oh, you wait till springtime. There'll be some farmers snowboarding in those things.
Yeah.
Like, why buy snowboarding boots when you've already got perfectly good red tops?
That's right.
I've seen them out. Don't joke. It's a thing.
That's probably more of a next season thing. I might be ahead of the curve yet.
Right. I've seen 3 cameramen now, kind of looking around at the director, and making faces of, what am I doing here?
Right. Looks like Ed Lee and Manaia Stewart, looks like things are wrapping up here. Everyone's getting their backpacks on. The rail jam is coming to an end. Good to see some action on the mountain. I think the weather's not too flash for the next couple of days. But thanks for joining us here at Cardrona for this rail jam, this Jossi Wells Invitational 23. It's been a pleasure bringing you this afternoon. And this will be on YouTube for the rest of our lives, so we can go back and listen to our small D chat. My parents will finally find out why their car was damaged back in 1994.
Well, their car was found in the... Yeah, it's been incredibly informative on so many subjects apart from snowboarding and skiing.
So on behalf of myself, Beaver Lane, Ox Stewart and Salamander Lee, that's it from the Rail Jam. Thanks for joining us. Catch you later.
All right.
Phew.
We're having some fun now, man.